Hello, Susie from Pink Diamond Guide. How is everybody today? Look, I hope you're faring well through the. We're in that tail end of the Mercury retrograde energy, and that new moon energy will be starting to dissipate as we start to ramp up for the changes that are coming ahead. And it's like whilst the Mercury retrograde certainly sort of was an upheaval energy over the past few weeks, what we've got ahead of us is like a buckle up energy. It could get bumpy. It's all bets are off, right? As this energy moves out of one phase and into another. So I'm actually really curious to see how this energy is going to play out because I'm feeling it building. I'm feeling how like the brain fog is gone. It's a methodical and organized energy that wants to now reign. And as we move into the sun's going to move into Libra, so partnerships and collaborations are going to come online. It becomes an emphasis on the other person, and varied experiences want to unpack under that energy. And there's a bunch of other indicators that really support communication and people coming together under this energy. There's just one little trip up that I see in this energy but essentially there's a lot of support around getting through it. So the one trip up I see is that we're moving towards this full moon in Aries, and this is the one I'm saying all bets are off. It's going to be you versus me. It's got some kind of starting over energy. Could be a little bit wild, could be a little bit how you going, could be a bit fiery, but also because there's plenty of support around it. One great conversation can solve it all. All of the transits through Virgo recently have got us to the place where we've really made our mind up about where we're going. So let's have a look at how this is playing out for the collective. Now, that full moon is not until the 29th, so I'm a little ahead of the curve, but what I'm feeling is a build up towards it, right? As we come out of that last little window and as we move towards the new one, it's just this feeling I have is like going, this energy is building already. So let's see how it's going to play out for first divine feminine, and then we're going to look at divine masculine. We'll get a few messages across the two, and then we'll look at some divine love oracle. So we've got the Ten of Wands in the push from the universe, the Six of Wands in how we're showing up, Knight of Swords in the soul space. We've got the Nine of Wands in the challenge position. We've got the Fool in the advice from Spirit, and the likely outcome is the Ten of Cups. I feel this right. There's a lot of support for this Ten of Cups energy of moving forward in a really, really positive way. And I'm not kidding, all bets are off, right? Let's have a look at underneath the deck and see what's going on there. Two of Cups, Four of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, Temperance, is that just one? Temperance, Page of Pentacles, and the Four of Swords. Oh, look, and underneath that. Oh. Look at that. It really does want to shift, right? It really is setting the table for across the collective to move into more harmonious spaces. Look at this. You've got the Four of Swords, you've got the Page of Pentacles, and the Temperance card, right? So it's learning your lesson and moving forward. The Page of Pentacles is our student of tarot. Four of Swords brings us into a healing space, and Temperance is really, to me, it's the heart and soul of the twin flame journey. It's bringing your energy into balance. So it's applying everything that you've known, and I'm really encouraging this really close walk with the divine, though I encourage that anyway. At the moment, it's particularly heightened because of how many logical energies are really playing out right now. Like that, those big Virgo energies are really about the earth plane, right? Where we're having to figure out the day to day, and it can be easy to get ourselves out of routine with talking to the divine and asking for that guidance. But essentially, what I'm picking up through this energy is a closer walk with the divine, really reigniting Christ consciousness within you, like looking to those principles of peace and love and kindness and harmony, all of the beautiful qualities that Christ recommended we show each other in our walk through life, to remind yourself of what those energies are, because like I feel where we're headed could be it could be, I want to say, all bets are off. That's where it's headed to. All bets are off. So it's like leaving behind the challenges of the past, It might essentially be a you versus me in this energy of wanting to, I want to get my point across in order to bring this energy into balance. So, but remind yourself, for as much as you know, there's still more to learn, and the energy is to balance it out as you go with this closer walk with the next level of energy that's pushing against us. See this? All of these really soft bubble love energies came through in our last reading, that this is a push that's coming through across the collective. Queen of Cups and Two of Cups. How much more love do you want to feel? Honestly, this is going to be I have made my mind up. I have love in my heart. I am love. I seek love. I give love. I move love. Or it's a energy that I am embracing as a truth. Love is boundless. Love is unconditional. And when I say unconditional, I mean, it's untappable. You can lean into it whenever you want, right? Whether it's for you or whether it's for somebody else. Throw away the ideal that unconditional love is that it's an excuse for people to treat you badly. It's not. When we say love is unconditional, it's like it's a frequency that you can tap into as quick as snapping your fingers, right? You can move into this really, really quickly when you embrace the ideals of divinity, when you are looking to be peaceful and kind and warm and loving, when you're looking to have empathy for the next person, when you're looking to understand the greater scenario, not just what your tunnel vision will, we get so locked into tunnel vision and go, you've offended me because, and we want to take this mantle of not wondering why that person's behaving badly if they are, or they're acting in a way that you wonder why they would say something hurtful towards you, and that you've got to actually fathom that out. I'm going to get really personal here. There was a scenario that I was dancing with under these energies, and when my husband left me, and one of the things he said to me was, "You're a person who doesn't deserve respect." And it was such a wound at the time, and I was like, why would he say such a thing? Why would he say such a thing when the mantle that I sit on is always to bring the best version of humanity forward, right? And the other thing he would say to me is, why do you always have to be right? And it wasn't that he was telling me I'm wrong. It was like a question that, I'm always pushing for higher levels of excellence and wanting to be better, and that I was always expecting that of people around me, and that in some level that lacked respect. So it was and at the time it was like, I don't understand why this person is saying such hurtful things, when all I've tried to do is be kind and warm and loving and and do the right thing by people. And this idea of going, you're a person who's not worthy of respect, that was a big journey to go through. And that's not with Ricky, that's not with my twin flame story. That was when I was with a soulmate energy, and trying to work through those energies. And I had to really deep dive and figure out, why would another human being see that version of a story when I fight so hard to be the complete opposite of that. And then this is the journey that you go on to understand. You've got to pull these resources to you and go, why did this version of the story come across my path? Why can't I sit in a frequency of love? Why can't I see love, be love, act love, seek love, all of the above, when I can't be seen? The truth that I'm trying to admit is not being seen by someone else. And this is where we do have to understand, we've got to be a student of the journey. And sometimes there's a scenario put upon us that we have to sit in massive empathy to someone else's point of view and how they're receiving us, right? It's not always what they're saying that is a truth about us, but there is something in the journey to learn, right? And there's something to move with the divine and come back into the ideal. There's something that I'm not aligning with. There's something that I'm vibrating with in a manner that would attract this scenario upon me, because the universe brings us not what we are, not what we want. So if we're attracting a circumstance that is pushing us into difficult energy, it's because we've needed it for a version of the journey. And when you can shift the energy to go, thank you for teaching me something about myself that I didn't know before, you can move really quickly into a divine energy where you're not blaming the person for the negative energy that they're bringing towards you, or you're not blaming them for pushing you into a space where you've got to learn and heal and grow. And then when you can get to that space where you don't blame that human being for the things that they said or did, you can tip into surrender and you can walk with the divine. Christ on the cross, one of the last things he said, they're hammering nails into his hands, and he's being, as an innocent man, being crucified in the worst way. That was the most horrible way to die in the time. The worst of criminals got the death, and he got a worse version of it. He was more so punished. And he is still saying, as they're crucifying him, they're still saying, forgive them, Lord, they know not what they do. So under this energy, it's like all bets are off, right? The goal is to heal. The goal is to grow. The goal is to sit in love. So you've got to gather resources, and sometimes it comes from somebody saying something crappy to you. They could say something crappy, they could do something crappy, and in that energy, you've got to fight for where the love is. You've got to fight for where the divinity is. You've got to fight for where the growth is. And if you can do that, the rewards are pretty significant, right? Let's move to the main part of the reading, because I feel like this is a really deliberate story that's playing out. Spirit does want us to lay the burden down, right? Lay the burden down. So whatever it is that has come forth in your world that has pushed you into a space where you feel less than, or you feel like you're not worthy, or you feel like somebody's not seeing you in a fair light, as in the story I just described, being told I'm not a person who's worthy of respect. At the time, that was like a dagger in my heart. It was like, I work so hard to be a kind, loving human being. How can you say this about me? It felt like it was a really, really harsh wound, right? Now, Spirit's going, whatever that wound was, I need to get you to the place where you're willing to lay the burden down, where you're willing to grow, where you're willing to heal, where you're willing to be grateful for the challenges that come your way, because they're making you better. They're bringing you closer into your divine truth and into your divine spirit. And the closer that you get to those divine frequencies, the closer you get to happy unions, right? Now, bubble love is upon the collective. It's like a look at it all. I mean, we're getting this energy consistently in our readings now, where it's like we're moving into that more light-hearted version of what twin flame love looks like, where you get the more honeymoon or bubble love feelings being expressed. But how you're going to get into them is making sure that you've done the work required to get there. And sometimes that requires letting some degree of hurt feelings go. And it might not be that it's your twin flame who's brought them to your door. It could be your family, your friends, it could be someone else that you've dated, it could come from any source. But what we're looking for under this energy is going, what version of a truth has been brought across your path that you've bought into the narrative that now it's time to let go of. Now it's time to think about the other person's scenario, think about what they've said, get into empathy with why they behave the way they do, and it's time to now lay this burden down, because look how Spirit wants us to feel strong, right? Six of Wands is coming through really consistently in readings, of wanting to feel like you've had victory after a long battle, right? The things that you've been through, the insults, the rejection, the struggles, the times where you feel like you're having a victory, but someone else is throwing mud in your face. All of those things feel like they need to come into an understanding that brings you into a place of balance, where you're no longer either angry at the person who said it, where you're no longer holding a grudge against people who've done you wrong, or situations who've done you wrong, but to truly stand in your power. And that's to understand that the journey that you've been put upon as a twin flame was designed to have these levels of struggle attached to it, right? So all of this beautiful romance, honeymoon energy, yeah, that's great that it's all part of the journey. But for you to enjoy that in a way where union is harmonious and where you don't come unstuck in your union again, it comes after the battle of doing all the shadow work and bringing your energy into a vibration that will actually harmonize with a twin flame union, right? There's plenty of science behind, and like I could talk to the science of that all day, but this is already sort of extended. But the science of how waves come together and how unions match and how they balance is so super fascinating, that if I can just reiterate that if you're not in union with your twin, it's because those frequencies have not yet balanced and they've not harmonized. And that's exactly what spirit is asking you to do. Get into a space where you're in contemplation or where you're in meditation, or at least you can make deliberate decisions. Don't run on autopilot. Don't just be letting the hurt feelings or the rejection feelings dictate where your journey is going. Instead, become a student of the journey that you're on. And I reiterate again, the fast track to union is knowledge. Look at that, right? The fast track to union is knowledge. And that's what's pushing against you right now. Letting go of the burden, letting go of the hurt, letting go of the pain, letting go of the rejection, and standing up in your power, right? In your knowledge, in your strength, and everything you've been through, to feel like you are ready to receive, right? It's like you're no longer, it's a true surrender when you're in this point, right? It's a true surrender of going, this space is mine and I can't be bumped out of it, right? King of Swords comes into the soul space, and this is really, really important energy for you right now, because the beg your pardon, Knight of Swords is a conversationalist, and he does charge forward, can be a bit of a bull at a gate, right? Now, how I'm equating this in your soul space is that autopilot voice, is the things that you're running automatically, right? When you think of your twin, or you think of the person who's put you into pain, whichever scenario is playing out that you're relating this journey to. Like I said, I'm relating this to my ex-husband, and I'm going, yeah, that really stung, and I still do have some residual energy and some kind of directed to that particular comment. It sticks in my craw like you wouldn't believe, when it's something I really fight to, is to be a respectful person, and like it was to be told, you are a person who doesn't need respect, right? Somewhere that has run on autopilot, for me to heal, and under all of this cleaning and shifting and adjusting that's been going on, that voice is ringing in my head again, and I'm like, I don't want it to run on autopilot. I want to go, I hear you. I'm going to pull that thought out. I'm going to put it right present, as if it's another person sitting in front of me and going, why are you saying those things to yourself, right? First of all, do you believe it's true? No, I don't believe it's true. So why would you run that dialogue? Why did that person say that thing to you? He was acting in a place of hurt. He was acting in a place of fear. He was wanting to bolster his own storyline. He needed a reason to do what he needed to do, so I became the target. Do I believe that the narrative is true? Essentially, no. So why am I running it on autopilot? I need to call it out, and I need to do this. I need to sit in contemplation with it, and I need to become a student of the energy in order to balance it out, right? I don't want this seed of rubbish to turn into a, well, it's not rubbish, it's part of my journey, and but like the autopilot part of it, I go, the autopilot is not a good thing for me to do if I'm running this idea of going, that energy is still sticking. So what I'm going to do is really gather my resources. What do I know about energy that sits in my field that's not serving me? What knowledge do I have about self-love? What knowledge do I have about soulmate love? What knowledge do I have about twin flame love? What knowledge do I have about the way people behave when they're hurt? All of those things I'm going to dissect and bring forward in order to make sure I keep my energy in balance, because you know what? I want to keep my union harmonious. I want to stay on that vibe of, being, in alignment with my twin flame union. Now, for anyone who's just started on this journey, or for anyone who feels like their union is a long way away and their partner's not getting in touch, or that you just go, this is, you just don't feel like you're close to bringing this energy forward. Don't panic if your twin flame is not in your world. This energy is going to play out for you and the version of ascension that you're now in. Your goal is still to align towards your twin flame frequency. Like, you want the frequency of union to be where you're seeking and where you're going, right? And as you continue to ascend and grow and balance out, your twin flame will do it as well by default, by virtue of the fact that you share a soul energy, or at least the source point of where your soul energy is from. Any ascension work you do is going to impact them as well. Now, what we've got in the challenge position is that wounding. Okay, so this is a very, very specific message. It's like whatever you can look for in your energy field right now, and you can go, there is a specific wounding that I need to address in order to keep my energy in alignment with my twin flame union. And this is where the knowledge bit takes place. It's going, how do I track down the parts of my energy field that I'm still holding wounding in, right? This is why I say knowledge is the fast track to union. Because if you have a process to know what to do with stuck or damaged energy, you've got a process to stay aligned with your twin flame journey. And I will reiterate that I'm personally available to do readings and have a look at this stuff. I have Danae, she's working with me as well, so she's available to offer readings. She doesn't focus specifically on twin flames, but if we're looking for energy that needs to move, Danae is fantastic at looking into those things, and she can track into past lives if there's anything in there. And also my beautiful friend Jules, who is she has a specific healing modality that is also super supportive. And I'm going to say, like, working with other healers and other modalities, like, there's processes to get you out of this stuck space. If you yourself don't have the knowledge, or you don't have the understanding of where the blockages are, like, utilizing your collective community, because we're all learning different facets of the journey, and definitely battle test who you allow into your energy field, because I do know there are some less than favorable approaches to healing this journey. But if you find that you need that level of support, because look what we've got, Divine Feminine, we have got some version of wounding still in there that needs to be addressed, it needs to be laid down, but we're going to do it. We're going to shift this energy forward. Now, like I said, all bets are off for Divine Feminine. We have to go forth with our hearts open. I actually feel this is a bit of a fiery energy, right? It's like going, I'm not afraid to speak my truth. I'm not afraid that I'm starting over in an energy space that I didn't understand before. I'm not afraid to be you versus me and tell you what's on my mind. I'm not even afraid. I would even push this energy, and I know it's not necessarily the energy of the fool, but a little bit of wild behavior. It's like a little bit of, and we're not there yet. I'm going to predict this more towards when that next full moon comes in. It just feels to me like it's got all bets of off energy, and Spirit's kind of brought the fool in here to advise, go after what you want and trust your heart, trust your soul. Don't worry that you're going to fall off a cliff. Heal what you've got to heal, listen to the divine, and move yourself in the journey. Like, know what your destination is up here. Like, go, this is where what I'm after. I've made up my mind. And I want to say one really great conversation could, I don't want to say it, one really great conversation can solve it all. I've just got this feeling about how this energy is going to unpack. And whatever it is that's sitting in your soul space that needs to have a resolve, and for everyone it's going to be different. Like, I'm actually a little bit, the things that have come out for me, I'm kind of going, really? You really still got something hanging around that with all the work you've done? And you just, sometimes you don't know how deeply your soul will bury a scenario in order to keep you safe, right? But how this energy is moving and shifting and growing and towards bringing the collective, more and more people into union and into collaboration, we've got a very, very methodical and organized energy moving with us right now that's going to peak in some kind of all bets are off energy. So in between time, let's go. I don't want to be in a showdown with anybody over these energies. Like, I don't want to get to the point where I'm having an argument about it, right? So I want to heal it before it causes me any kind of frustration or damage. And this is kind of what's being recommended here: is get your work done. Get your work done, understand where your struggle is, sit with the divine, work your way into balance. Because look, I really just want you to sit in bubble love. I really just want you to sit in a super harmonious energy. In order to do that, you really need to gather your resources on this one, right? And make sure those resources are clean and healed. All right. I've really yacked on for divine feminine. I just feel like it's a really potent energy. Let's have a look at divine masculine energy and see what's going on the other side of the fence. How are they faring with what's going on in this energy? Let's have a look. Let's pull this back, because I'm anticipating that sort of October is when we're going to see things really stood up, and that's why we're getting like a Ten of Cups outcome. I don't think I got there. Look at that, Ten of Cups. Happy, settled, bubble love all the bloody way. Look at it. Look at all that love that's being opened and balanced as well, right? So let's see how it's playing out on the other side of the fence. If we're predicting for divine feminine that we're moving into Ten of Cups, what has the masculine got? We've got the Chariot. We've got the Eight of Cups. We've got the Moon. I'm talking about that moon energy. Wheel of Fortune in the challenge. We've got Four of Swords as the advice. Look at that. Look at that. Righto. Outcome is the King of Wands. What have we got underneath the deck? We've got the Eight of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, Queen, Six of Wands, Seven of Cups, and Ace of Cups. I'm not... and look, Ten of Cups, the Fool. Oh, yeah. This energy just really wants to unpack and open up. It really does. Look at this. Ace of Cups comes through as a push. Again, we're looking into this bubble love ideal. It's like divine masculine is really moving through what his options are. And it's like going self-love, divine love, twin flame, twin flame love. It's all being offered, right? It's all there. It's the divine really wants to expose what the nature of that energy looks like, right? So it's a push from underneath the deck for sure. And here's divine masculine going, I'm really ready to make a choice. Now, what I was saying under this full moon energy that's coming up is it can turn into a you versus me energy, right? Which is really what I'm seeing under here is going, am I going to play it safe, or am I just going to go for it and be successful? Because what's upon me is to make a new start in love. I'm going to read this Ace of Cups really just as its traditional meaning. I want a new start in love. I want to open up. Again, all bets are off, right? New start in love, all bets are off. I'm going to take my chances. I've made my mind up. I'm going to make a choice, right? And here I'm sitting victorious. And this Six of Wands energy is really kind of fronts in a different way. It's like, how am I seeing this? I want to word it differently, because it is a making your mind up energy, but like I just don't feel like they're going, oh, I've had such a long battle to get into this place that I am. It's almost like just to be able to make a decision feels like a victory, right? Where it's not just sitting in a brain fog or a soul fog. It's going, yeah, I feel methodical, I feel organized, and I'm ready for the next part of the journey, because I feel successful in making a choice. Just the fact that I've locked in that I'm going to do this, I've made a choice, this is happening. The next layer of energy, see all this, I'm getting to work. Look at all those pentacles. Look at all those pentacles. Queen of Pentacles comes in feeling like, in this energy to me, they feel like really settled. It's almost somewhat luxurious, right? Of going, I've got all the skills that I need in order. Seriously, it's just, I've got everything I want and I'm going to work hard at it. It's like I've made my decision. I've made my choice. And I know that it's going to bring me everything that I want on every front. It's like They're not worried about what they're going to do for work. They're not worried about who they're leaving behind. They're not worried about that it's not going to work out. They feel really, really safe and strong, and they're going to work hard at keeping it in place and intact. Look, Spirit has here the push from the universe is the Chariot. Spirit wants divine masculine to move forward in a really, really positive way. They want them to leave all their troubles behind. Just put it behind you, divine masculine. Trust the choices that you've made and move forward in the direction of your dreams. Now, here we've got the energy of the moon coming into the soul space, and I'm feeling really intently that around that 29th of September space is when, again, I'm going to say it, all bets are off, starting over. And it's like this feeling to me of one great conversation can solve it all. Minds are made up. And at times it could feel like the behavior gets a little you versus me. And it could feel a little wild or a little fiery. Yeah, look, a little fiery. There it is. But it's about trying to get the collective to resonate on the vibration of union, even if it doesn't bring your twin in under this space, right? What it's doing is it's getting everybody at the table. There'll be twins coming together in a rush between now and the end of the year, but seriously, don't panic if it's not you. Twins come together in waves that are task, not time centric, right? So this energy is saying there's a bulk of people who've done enough of their work that they're aligning up on either side of the coin into more and more unions. Now, if it's not you bringing your twin flame along, I know I'm repeating this message a lot, because what we'll have is people coming into union significantly. There'll be more and more people coming into their unions, and if you're sitting there going, well, why isn't it happening for me? Why am I still sitting outside of this this mass coming together of the collective? It means that there's still a little bit of work to do, right? There's still something to learn. There's still something to know. There's still something to heal, right? But it doesn't mean that it's not going to happen for you. And it's like, it's always been designed that it would come together in a stagger, right? There's the first wave of twins, had a very strong warrior energy. The second wave had a very strong healer energy, and the third wave generally had people who were younger in it, but they woke up in this energy all at different times, right? And once you woke up and you figured out, oh, I'm on this twin flame journey, that's when your tasks began, right? That's the task process. And once you got serious about the tasks that needed to be undertaken, guess what? Your energy started evolving. It started rising. It started getting to the point where harmonious union was available to you. So don't worry if you've woken up after someone else has and they're further down their task journey than you are. There was a bunch of people who woke up at the same time, and they're getting to the point where the work is getting done. Doesn't mean that they won't still have work to do. It just means that they've come into a scenario where the energy has balanced out enough that you can, like there's enough healing being done in order to move you forward into that next level. All right, so as a likely outcome, we have got the King of Wands, which is where I'm like, fiery energy is what's hitting me around where we're going. So when Divine Masculine gets King of Wands, he's probably likely to take action, because this is him feeling desirable feelings for you, right? Let's not put too light a spin on it. Like, he wants you under this energy. King of Wands decides what he's made his choices. Like I said, I've made my mind up. I'm going to go after what I want, and this energy is fueled by desire, right? It's got to push. I want you, and I'm ready to start looking at it seriously. All bets are off. Now, if Divine Masculine could give you Divine Feminine a specific message, what would it be? Divine Masculine, your message for Divine Feminine, what would it be? Let's have a look. Specifically, what would you say? Let's have a look. Oh my gosh, look. The Chariot comes out. I think that's really, really cool. And you've got the Justice card. You've got the Six of Swords. You've got the Magician. we've got the Three of Swords, and we've got the Five of Wands. This is an interesting message, isn't it? All right, so he's feeling the push to come towards you, right? So it's going, I'm feeling the push from the universe. I am feeling it. I know I should move forward. I know I should come towards you. I know what it is that I've got to do. And justice. This is why I'm picking up the divine feminine message so clearly. Because whatever hurt, whatever level of struggle or rejection or pain, and whether it's you or someone else who's been through it, it's like this all has to balance out. It's got to move into a space where karmic debts are settled, or at least it can move into a neutral energy, and you can align with the frequency of union. Now, what he's saying with justice is going. Sometimes justice is just that you move away from it. I've got this really, I don't know. It's like I want to say. This is do feel a little bit stumped on it, just because it feels like to me it's going. The justice is like your message. So if he's giving you a message from his soul to yours, it's going, balance that stuff out. I need you to balance it out, right? Because all bets are off right now, and whatever happens, it's a karmic. I want to keep saying karmic, but it's not at the heart of where this is sitting. Let me get another layer on it, because I just want to keep saying it's a karmic balancing. That justice card that is coming out. Let's have a look. It's a hanged man energy. All right, now look, it does make sense, but it's kind of like it feels like it's on the flip for me. It's like he's saying, oh, I understand your journey really intently. So it's not really talking about what he's doing, but more so his soul is saying, I see that this space of contemplation is you need to bring it into a place of balance. You need to bring it into a place of justice, and walk away from what has been a really, really troubling energy. This is struggling to transform, but that doesn't surprise me. It doesn't, because the energies that we're in, we haven't got quite to the point where it wants to organize. There's a bit of the energy wags its tail from what was really aimless while Mercury was in retrograde, but now it's like trying to organize itself again, and it will kind of, organize itself to the point where all bets are off. And Spirit's going, well, transform that energy, transform it. It can be difficult, I know, but I feel like one great conversation can solve it all. This is the energy that's really feels challenging to me, because we do have around it that energy, and like I'll say, it can turn into a you versus me energy. And if we're going to start over, it's like, how are we going to get past the past? How are we going to get past anything that I've done? How are we going to get past anything that was said? How can you make sure your energy is clear and ready for me? Can you make sure that you've healed anything? And I know that there's probably some justice that divine masculine has to face in a return to this connection, and there's questions that are going to want to be answered. But this is where the warning is, or where the cautionary note is that don't turn it into a you versus me. We've got to find that agreed goal, that common goal, where it's not I win or you win. We've got to get to the point where we have the courage to claim the solution, not just highlight all the problems, right? When you can do that, then you move into the energy of we win. And what he's got going on here is I'm really, really keen to move forward. But until this to me says, I need you to sort out your mess, right? I need you to sort out what you got going on, whatever hurt, whatever struggle, whatever space that you've got going on that is stopping this energy from transforming. Not that I think that they are consciously like pointing the finger. This is a soul space energy. And it's like, as you ascend, they can ascend. But if you stay stuck, their energy won't lift either. So right back to the start of this message, and I was going, you need to be a student of what's going on right now. Really moving into this space. And we had a Queen of Cups in there too, didn't we? I think I've messed these up a little bit. Yeah, because it was the balance card that was there. and then you've got all of these loving energies around gathering resources. Look, it does feel like a repeating message, and whilst it's hard to articulate, or while I've struggled to put the words together, essentially, it's like divine masculine is saying, clean up your energy field because I'm on my way and I need you to be able to receive me. And at the moment, the transition is difficult, which doesn't surprise me because I'd expect more into October that you, divine feminine receiving divine masculine, the energy opens up more. So this is kind of a complex energy in. Let's dive back into our work, divine feminine. Let's talk to the divine. Let's be a student of our own healing, be a student of our journey, and move into as much bubble love as our hearts can hold. Let's just get one final message from our Divine Love Oracle and see if there's anything there. Just one final message for Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine, and then one for the collective. Let's have a look. Oh, that's awesome. Divine Masculine, star, and one for the relationship. Right. Seriously, this, it all just kind of locks in now. Like, this whole reading is wrapping itself around the same ideal. When we talk cosmic symphony, right, it's like the idea as if the divine gave you a guitar, right, and it said, here's a particular melody I want you to play in order to have everything that you want show up and be the way that you want it to be. If you play these notes in this sequence, then what you're going to get is exactly what you want, right? Which is this beautiful harmonious union. But in that, you go, actually, I'm a bit of a rebel. I think I'll play my own notes, right? What will happen then is you will create the reality that is built out in front of you. Depending on how you play your cosmic guitar, right? You can either play it listening to the divine, right? As if here the divine is saying, I want you to come to music class. I want you to learn how to play the guitar in alignment with the notes, the melody, the rhythm that I have put, the sheet of music that's in front of you. I want you to study it. I want you to learn it, and I want you to play it how I've written it, right? And you can't do that unless you learn it. I say it all the time. The fast track to union is knowledge. Now, the Cosmic Symphony says, if you play the notes that divine tells you to play, then you will produce the outcome that the divine has in mind for you, and you will sit in beautiful harmony. Now, if you don't know how to play that guitar and you're just banging out notes, it sounds like a disaster, right? You know, if I picked up a guitar, like, my kids can play it, but I can't. I don't know the notes, I don't know the strings, I don't know how to play a guitar. But what I do know how to do is, and it sounds awful, like, versus them who know how to play it. They play songs, they play music, it sounds harmonious, it builds out something magic. Whereas somebody like me who just doesn't know how to play a guitar, it sounds awful. That's the same theory. This cosmic symphony is the divine has an ability. When you study with the divine, you will play the perfect cosmic symphony in accordance with your journey to produce the outcome that you want. Now here, right, the divine masculine is going, well, I'm playing my guitar like a rock star, right? Divine feminine, can you please do the same? Right? Can you just please play your cosmic guitar in a beautiful harmonious way? Because right now I'm smashing that. I'm playing it to the best of my ability with the current music that the divine has put in front of me. And as you ascend, right? When you first started on your journey, the divine would have put Baba Black Sheep in front of you, or Mary Had a Little Lamb. You would have had something very, very simple musically to play. Now the divine feminine is playing symphonies, we've got Beethoven and Mozart. Think of any complicated piece of music. That's the level of music that we're playing, right? And divine masculine is going for the piece of music for my level that I'm at, that I've been asked to play. I'm playing it like a star. Now, in this energy, we are being asked, divine masculine is asking us to do it, and the divine is asking us to reflect, right? To go back over any energy that is going to make this symphony sound like crap, right? Go back over the piece of music, right? Are there any bung notes in there? Are there any chords that you don't know? Is there anything that you can teach yourself about the journey to be prepared to play your music in concert, right? So if you can get to the point where you can play this and it sounds, it's just there's nothing in that sheet of music that's going to trip you up. You can just play it. Then you know that this you're getting closer to being able to play this music together. So right now, I would say just reflect, reflect, reflect. Is there anything still biting after that last retrograde? It's got a couple of weeks of shadow energy. If there's anything in it, anything at all, and it doesn't have to be from your twin, right? It's just anything that's knocking you out of the frequency of love and of gratitude and of walking in Christ consciousness with the divine. We want to play this cosmic symphony, and we want to share the stage with our divine masculine. So right now, take the time, go back through that energy, and make sure you understand the music, the song that you've got to play, so we're ready for the next little bit. I hope that makes sense. This is a cracker of a journey, and I think it's going to be, the energy is going to be cracking over the next couple of weeks. So it is a bit of a buckle up, get ready. Let's just say all bets are off. You're going to play this song as if your life depended on it, right? Because in a little bit it does, because it's what's building out in front of you. So let's do this. Let's take the most of this really methodical and organized energy and learn to play this like we are, you know, like we're Mozart, we're Beethoven. We can do it all. We've got this. All right, I'm going to wrap that up. I could go on and on. I won't. I'm going to say, in faith, hope, and love, it's bye from me for now.